Hello everyone. I'm doing this very impromptu and there might be some sound in the background, but and I got a dog right here under my desk and one over there staring at me, but I just wanted to do this video. I wanted to read today because my tapping buddy, we tap each other, text each other and say, hey, we've tapped, and we do gratitude lists every day with each other. She said, did you read from the book today? And I go, I haven't yet, but I have been reading it every day. And I'm going to read this, and I'm going to share kind of what happened today. So May 9th, and tomorrow is my daughter's 25th birthday, May 10th, so that's kind of fun. So May 9th, and this is out of 365 Days to Embracing Forbidden Emotions, a daily guide to peace and fulfillment. So never apologize for showing your feelings. When you do, you are apologizing for the truth. Jose N. Harris. And maybe I never thought about it like this. When I apologize for my feelings, I am apologizing for my truth. I'm allowed my truth. I might have to take that in, but I am all allowed my truth. Learning not to apologize for my truth is another part of this. I may have a lot of practice in apologizing unnecessarily. God, I know I do. I might have learned to do this to survive in my family of origin if I wasn't allowed to express a different viewpoint. If I grew up in a dogmatic system where everyone was programmed to believe the same thing, I can run up against a lot of pushback when I try to break free. This is where getting support can come in handy. It can help to have someone reflect back that I'm okay and I deserve my truth, even if others don't agree. When I'm first getting used to this idea, it can be challenging because self-doubt can rule. But the more support I get, the more practice I get. And the more tapping I do, I find an inner confidence I didn't know was in me. It's always been there, actually. It just got covered over by the loudness of the world that sees things in a different way. It takes practice, but it's doable and oh so worth it. Thought for the day. Today my mantra can be, I deserve my truth. So, out of 365. What I wanted to share about my truth today, put my bookmark back in, is I have a neighbor that when him and his partner first moved in, we were like super friendly with each other, like celebrated birthdays and did all that stuff together, and it was really great. And then somewhere along the way, it got very different. I started to see more of a personality that is very challenging, and challenging for me, for sure. Just has beliefs that I consider really, 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 really out there. Like stuff that I'm like, I just can't even wrap my head around it. So, I started just kind of backing off, but we just sort of had this sort of friendly exchange. Like I'd bring compost up to feed to his chickens, and then he'd exchange eggs. And then I had a friend just the other day who's met him and asked how it's going. I said, oh, it's going. It's good. It's very surface, but we just do this exchange, and that's the way it is. Well, just Friday, it just went south. It started to go south, and then Saturday morning, it went south pretty quickly. And without going in all the details, I realized, like, he is someone I would tell you I have tried very hard to keep a decent relationship with, because it sucks to have neighbors, that, and like my cats will go over there, my dogs will go over there and say hi. And I was like, it was important to keep that. So I would say go out of my way to try and keep it as friendly as possible up until this morning. And even Saturday morning, when my husband and I, hey Beth, oh, it's so good to see you. It was so good to talk to you the other day. My husband and I were getting ready for this garage sale we were doing, and he came down and was just like, it just reminded me so much of like one of the nuns that I had in school. And like, he was so irritated in this, and I said, Michael, I can't deal with this right now. We are trying to get ready. I told you when I find time, I'll come and talk to you. I can't do it right now. And I definitely was pretty sharp with him. And I just said, I can't do this. And long and short of it, it just went south pretty quickly. But then he sent me a text and I said, look, I would always prefer to talk it out. So later that day I went over and talked to him and his partner and thought that, okay, things are in a better place. And then his partner came over last night and spoke to us and, about what was going on. And his partner's a lawyer and his partner's just super cool. And he was like, hey, here's where things stand and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, I thought, okay, it's good. We'll just keep working. This is an extremely challenging personality, but for my husband, he's like, oof. So then this morning, I'll tell you the long and short of it, our properties all join. And so there's like 4 of us in a row. And we're spaced between our homes, but there's this deep arroyo back here behind my house and this pathway. And I'll take my dogs there in the morning and just do this loop around the house before we take them on a long hike, just to get, the poop and the pee and all that stuff out and just kind of take the edge off the 2 hyper ones. Well, this morning I'm walking there and I have to do this. He's up high up on there and I'm at the end of his property heading over to the other gals. And I hear him, and he does. And I go, what? And he goes, not on my property. And I go, are you kicking me off your property? Like, and long and short of it, I said something to him. I'm like, I had nothing to do with that. And he goes, you're complicit in all of this. We'll talk about it in a month. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, I have tried everything I can think of to keep this as cordial as possible. And I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done trying to be cordial. I'm done trying to play nice. I'm done doing that. And he's mandating no, off my property and we'll talk about it in a month. And I said, no, we won't. And I said, F you, F you. And I felt fantastic. And why I wanted to share this is I heard this saying years ago, sometimes you just got to bang your shopping cart. And, I could go down, with my Catholic upbringing, the guilt train, but I was like, no, I don't feel guilty. I definitely drew a line in the sand and I'm done. Because I tended to always be the one that was like, okay, I'll do whatever it takes to make this work. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done. There's nothing else to work out here. I'm not going to be a part of the Psycho Fest anymore. And, I just wanted to share that. And then my tapping buddy's like, did you read out of your book today, the thing, honoring your truth? And I said, it's amazing, the progress I've made. And this may not sound like progress to some people, but it's absolutely progress. I mean, I have a potty mouth. I always have. I was raised by a Marine. But to say that to someone and to just be like, oh no, this is drawing a line in the sand. And to not have the guilt come up and to go, no, I am so ready for this to be done. I don't care that he's a neighbor. I will do whatever it takes to just manage myself with it, and that's that. And I wanted to share this because I think it's important, because what I see, particularly, I see this even especially with women, we feel guilty very often about if we get angry or if we say something, we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Instead of going, no, that was appropriate for the whole circumstance. That was actually an appropriate response. It would actually be abnormal if I didn't have a response like that. And this is 3 days of going just through the ringer with this dude and trying, and even his partner being the voice of reason. His partner's a lawyer, being the voice of reason. It was just no, we're just done. We're just done. It's it's not even I'm just done. I'm not even going to attempt to try this anymore. And I think it's just important for us to learn to do that. And if we experience the guilt with it, we tap through the guilt, we let that be what it is. And then we just go, okay, well, I can feel the guilt, but I did something good for you. And this is actually what I want to say. I absolutely knew today I took care of my inner child today. I literally took care of my inner child. My inner child was like so reeling, and I'm like, I've got this. I'm taking care of this. You're not going to have to kowtow here. You're not going to have to play nice anymore. You're not going to have to survive this. We're just done, and we're walking away. And that can feel wrong in our culture, the walking away things, but sometimes you just got to bang your shopping cart, and sometimes walking away is the best thing you're doing for your inner child, and then it creates space for something so much better. And then one last thing along these lines. We recently had an Airbnb client that was supposed to stay with us for quite a while. And she was with us a couple months, and she honestly turned out to be a bit of a nightmare. And it took a little bit to get her moving on, but we finally did. And that's taken me a while to work through that and be like, no, you got to kind of kick this person out of your house. Like, it's affecting other people. And my husband's actually really helped me with that in that way a lot, to have the better boundaries about that. So I was like, we have to move her on, and I felt so liberated moving her on too. And my point was, when she moved on, all of a sudden it opened up the space. Sorry, my two dogs are getting into it. It opened up the space for this wonderful person to come in and take over her room. And she's wonderful. She could not be better. Like, she's idyllic. So I wanted to share that. I'm not going to do any tapping. Beth, I'm so happy to see you on here live. And I hope anyone that watches this finds this helpful. And just, it's sometimes like saying yes to yourself is absolutely saying no to somebody else, but you are taking care of your inner child. You're doing what's right for your child, and you're being that loving parent to your child. And I know I was a warrior loving parent for my child today, my inner child today, and I'm very happy for that. So Beth, much love to you, big hearts back, and take care. And there's fights going on everywhere around here. So the two eclipses. So take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.